So in a kind of crazy turn of events, it appears that the owners of KC Current, Angie Long, Chris Long, and Patrick Mahomes and his wife made a bid to be the 16th WNBA franchise. The group is making a strong bid that brings women's basketball to Kansas. Wow. Apologies about the cough right there. I think I muted my mic, but very sick right now. Either way, that's mad. That is mad, and that's going to be an interesting one. If you guys have not seen, that 16th expansion slot is half of America. Like, people are like, oh, like, the WNBA, whatever about their expansion fees, I think it's like 60 million or something. And you have to basically have, and if you're an expansion team, you're going to have all the, like, bells and whistles. But it's like, I'm not lying when I say this. You are seeing, like, I think there's like 20. I want to see if I can get the list of WNBA expansion cities. Because, obviously, Boston isn't one of them. Because, well, like, I think is it it's too close to the Connecticut. So, you're not going to see that because of the Sun. And again, the Sun are like nowhere near ran well enough. Like, they're going to be probably forced to sell. Or at least, if they're not forced to sell, the like tribe that owns the Sun, if they're not forced to sell, they're going to have to at least make sure that right before their playoff game, their practice isn't cut short by a 2-year-old's birthday party. But these are all the cities. You're looking at this. Miami, Austin, Denver, Nashville, Charlotte, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Kansas, Philadelphia, and Central Florida. Where do I not want a team? Miami. As a Miami Heat fan, you don't want a team where all their fans show up late. You don't really... I'm trying to think of where. Maybe because it was the Charlotte Sting were pretty good for a while. Maybe you want Charlotte back. Cleveland, Milwaukee. I think Kansas would be a cool place. Because obviously Kansas don't have... Like, they've got their big as far as college's ball is concerned. There's no team in Kansas. No NBA team. And I think a lot of the time... I think Philly would be cool as well. Because Philly's a big sports city. Denver... I don't know. Maybe it'd be cool if Denver could get a team because... I don't know, maybe I'll end up... I was like, there's one spot in the States that I might end up... If I end up ever moving to the States for a year, it'll probably end up being to Denver, so it would be cool to have a team there to watch play basketball during the summer for reasonable season ticket prices. But, yeah, it does seem like it is... Like, it's the big thing in the news that Patrick and Brittany Mahomes are really pushing to get Kansas City. And that's the thing when it comes to these type of teams and stuff, like, obviously, when you have a bid for anything, getting celebrity endorsement is big. Like, for the World Cup, the amount of people that got paid to endorse Qatar. They also pay people to vote for Qatar, but, like, that's a completely different, like, different thing. But, yeah, so that could be very interesting. Jackson Mahomes will probably emerge from the shadows to play power forward. Jesus. The league will profit now. Smart investment, the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA going for 30 teams. And obviously that's not going to happen because of with the way the CBA is, with the way they only own a certain percentage of the league. It will be nearly impossible for the WNBA to go to 30 teams. And for me anyway, I think going to 30 teams takes away quite a lot of it. I think 30 teams for any sort of league is too much. Like, I would probably, like, cap it at, especially, I would cap it at 21 teams. I would probably cap it at 20, to be honest. And if you're wondering why I would cap it at 20, the reason I cap it at 20 is I would cap it there because it means that every team can play everybody home or away. You can go to a 40-game season. Or 21 teams. If it's 20 teams like the Premier League, you can go... Or heck, go do it with the Championship. Cap it at 24. If you're going to keep playing it in the summer, it has to be capped at 24. So you got 46 games in the regular season. You play every single team home and away. Like, that's what it's got to be capped at. You can't go to 30. Because playing every team home and away then for 30 means you got, what, 29? 29 by 29. That's like 40. It's like 58 games, is it? Yeah, playing every team home and away. That's just too much. And, like, you don't need to play a team 4 times. You can play a team twice. And, like, that would make every game against every team more important because you only see New York, LA twice a year instead of 4 times a year. You only see Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark twice a year. But when it comes to expansion, the problem is like when they go to 16 teams, like how are they going to fit that in? I really don't know how they're going to fit it into their schedule without like really overplaying the players, because obviously all the players all play overseas and rosters only have 12 instead of 15. So you're going to be seeing crazy stuff. But yeah, let me know. Do you guys think Kansas City are going to be the team to get it? I have a weird feeling. They will, just to like go off that, like just to build off the NFL influence. I think building off the NFL influence could be very, very smart for the WNBA. And obviously, there's no more popular NFL player than good old Patrick Mahomes. Like, he's so popular that they went up to Paolo Banchero and asked how did Patrick enjoy it? How did you enjoy it, Patrick? And he was very confused. He was most definitely very, very confused with that Formula One. But, you know, Patty Mahomes is someone that obviously I reckon is smart about it. I think everybody sees the way the WNBA is going and they're like, okay, let me kind of get in on this. We know there's a lot of money here, so, or not a lot of money. We know there's a huge untapped potential in women's sports. And with the growth of women's sports in general, and now just the growth of the WNBA on top of that, it's the one league that's going to really spiral upwards, because women's sports in general is growing. And then you're seeing a transcendent star in Caitlin Clark with more transcendent stars in Paige and Juju coming in. If you are smart, like, I wish, like, in hindsight, I wish that I had, in 2020, like, to be fair, everyone can say it's in hindsight. Imagine if in 2020, I took all the money I made from my 2K YouTube days during the pandemic boom, took all the money out, invested all of it into a random ass WNBA team. At that time, I could have owned like 15% of one of the cheaper WNBA teams. I could have bought 15% of a WNBA team. I'd be worth, I'm trying to think how much I'd be worth right now, man. I'd be worth 30, 40 million if I'd done that. But yeah, obviously, whatever the growth has been the last year or two, I have a weird feeling it's going to just continue to spiral upwards.